welcome to the Silent Majority here on New Media Patriot Radio, the show about you, the concerned citizen, the silent majority, the politically incorrect, the social media patriot fighting every single day to restore American values and exceptionalism. You can follow me on Twitter at ThePatriot143 or on our show Twitter page at NMP Radio. Also, if you want to be a guest on the show and you want to get your voice heard, you can email us at gmail at newmediapatriot@gmail.com. Also, we are part of the new home of Conservative Talk Radio via ICRN. That is conservativeradionetwork.com. I want to thank them for syndicating my show. Also, we are available on Spreaker, iTunes, SoundCloud. So if you guys want to catch us on the go, and if you miss the live shows, you can simply download it and take me with you, man. Take me with you on the train, on the subway, whatever, in the morning, on the morning drive. Take me with you. And also, please give us a follow on Spreaker. I'm trying to get featured on iHeartRadio, and I need to reach about 200 followers. So if you can do that for me, that would be great. And today's going to be pretty interesting. Also, by the way, I'm your host, Chris. Today's going to be interesting. You know, today is basically the reason why I came up with this radio show. I wanted to give an outlet for some of my Twitter followers to get their voices heard. Yesterday, in the last couple of days, I've been tweeting a lot about, Trump, because I really support Trump. And yes, he's not the perfect candidate, but I feel like he's the imperfect instrument that this country needs at this time. So I tweeted something out, and I had a gentleman who follows me, who's on the line right now, along with two other fellows. And he asked me, he said, listen, why do you support Donald Trump? And I simply told him, listen, 140 characters is just isn't enough for me to express why I support Donald Trump. And again, I do support if Ted Cruz gets a nomination, I will vote for him. But the fact of the matter is, he wanted to know. I said, why don't you just come on the show and we'll discuss it? And as I put that tweet out, the other gentleman, Emmett, he chimed in. He said, listen, I would like to be on your show. So I said, sure, come on. And then Carmine came on board. Carmine Zozzora, who's also on the line. He came on board and he said, listen, I'd like to be on the show as well. So here we are. We're going to have the first of its kind here on New Media Patriot Radio. It's going to be a roundtable, and we're just going to discuss the topics of the day, what candidates we support. Also, we're going to be discussing, Super Tuesday and how critical that is for each of the candidates, and a lot more. So I hope you enjoy. And again, if you are listening to us for the first time, and you wanna get your voice heard, you can call us. Actually, you can call us at 347-338-1775. If you have a question, if you're listening to the show and you have a question, you want to ask a question, feel free, give us a call. Again, the number is 347-338-1775. Okay, without any further ado, I want to welcome in my three guests. My first guest, Carmine Zozzora, has been on my show on previous shows. How are you, Carmine?
Good. It's Zozzora, and I get it wrong all the time too.
Zozzora. There you go. I should be able to say that. I'm from New York. Zozzora. Is that the way you pronounce it?
There it is.
All right. Awesome.
Yeah, Zozzora.
Awesome. And on the line as well, I have Emmett Martin. How are you, Emmett?
I'm doing well. I can't hear Carmine.
Okay, you can't hear Carmine. Hold on one second. Okay, now you should be able to hear Carmine. So my third guest is David Thompson. How are you, David?
Fine, thanks, Chris.
Awesome. Well, can you guys hear each other?
I could not hear Carmine either.
All right, can you hear them now?
I hear everyone.
Okay, good. So Dave, I was in the opening. I spoke about you, and you sent me out a tweet. I don't know what tweet it was, but I had sent out a tweet, and you responded to it, and you wanted to know why I supported Donald Trump. I didn't ask you who you supported. I simply said, well, 140 characters wasn't enough, and I figured I'd have you on the show. Have you listened to my show previously? Because I know you follow me, and I know you retweet some of my stuff. Have you listened to the show in the past?
I listened to your first one with Wayne Dupree.
Okay.
So, yes, I have.
Awesome. So you like Wayne Dupree. Wayne Dupree's an awesome guy. Dave?
Yeah.
So Dave, tell us.
Yes.
So Dave, give everybody your Twitter handle so they know where to follow you.
I'm sorry, you want me to do what?
Give everybody your Twitter. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I can hear you.
All right, I want you to take this opportunity and give everybody who's listening your Twitter handle so they can follow you on Twitter.
Okay, it's just D.W. Thompson, 1945.
Okay, awesome. So I'm going to ask you, who do you support?
Well, at this point, I think Cruz, because I think I'd like to see a Cruz-Trump one-on-one to see who gets the Republican nomination.
Okay.
But the ground rules for me, the rules of engagement for me include that I'm the hashtag ABC guy, anybody but Clinton. So if Donald Trump gets the nomination, I will support that.
See, but this is what I don't. Speaking to Dave, this is what I don't understand. I run into so many Cruz followers, and even on radio talk shows, and a lot of them say, if Trump gets the nomination, I'm not voting for him. I'm writing his name in. Basically, writing his name in is a vote for Hillary, in my opinion. But you're not one of those.
No question. You're absolutely right, Chris. And I got two words for you for somebody who wants to do something like that. You might recall there was a gentleman from Texas who ran in 1992, and the result was that Bill Clinton got elected.
Right.
So
Ross Perot.
Right, Ross Perot, and it just doesn't work. You can't have expectation of winning doing something like that. And you're absolutely right, Chris. You're handing the election to Hillary Clinton, which is just a third Obama term, and that would be a disaster for this country.
Okay, so now I want to turn to Emmett. Emmett, tell us, who do you support and why?
I support Donald Trump. I don't think Cruz is a bad guy, and don't get me wrong. But I'll be totally bluntly honest. I think he is unelectable. He can't beat Hillary, and I'm still not 100% sure that he's eligible. And I'm not saying that to downgrade the man and what he's accomplished, but at the same time, what has he totally accomplished? People are very upset in this country. I don't think that there's been another time in my lifetime, since I've been voting anyway, that I have seen the angst of the people so high at the establishment, and for good reason. After this last election, they had a mandate to do a job, and they failed to do it. And because of that, you're seeing between that and the lawlessness of this particular president and his establishment regime up there, open borders from around the world, and people are fed up. People are fed up. You have 100 million people here that are either on SNAP or unemployed, or welfare. They don't want that. People in this country want jobs, and I think that Donald Trump has actually helped to create jobs in this country, and I don't think any of the other candidates, and I mean any of them on either side of the aisle, can say that. And those are some of the reasons why I support Trump. Okay.
Okay. Now, Carmine Zozzora, tell us, who do you support and why?
I'm with Trump. Here's a guy who's accomplished enormous things over decades while dealing with hundreds of politicians to do it. He maneuvered himself through this stock market crash, the commercial real estate crash, the savings and loans collapse, when the casino industry got wiped out, and he maneuvered himself masterfully and came out on top.
Right.
I mean, I look at Ted Cruz, he gets nothing done. All he does is he has no friends in the Senate, and he won't make deals. He's campaigning, I won't make deals. Well, the federal government, under the Constitution, if you won't make deals, then you're Obama. You're a pen and a phone guy. That's why there's a Congress. That's the House of the people. If a president won't deal with the people's representatives, what good is he? It's ridiculous. And Marco Rubio, he should be a real estate lawyer in Miami. I don't even know what's he ever done. Nothing.
Well,
My real estate lawyer's sharper than he is.
Some gay porn.
Oh God, let's not.
It's ridiculous.
Let's not get into that. You're listening to New Media Patriot here. I'm your host, Chris, and on the rebooting Liberty Hotline, I have Emmett Martin and also Carmine Zozzora and David Thompson. David, you heard the Trump supporters. What do you think about what they said?
Well, I'd like to respond to Emmett because I think he raised a very good point and one that does need to be answered, and that is whether Cruz is eligible. And I think Trump's talked about it, but he hasn't done anything about it to file a suit and get the Supreme Court to answer the question: what is a natural-born citizen, and is that person, eligible to be president of the United States? And I hope that would also include the question of the so-called anchor babies, because, there's millions involved there. So those questions do need to be answered. And I recognize that. And I think it would do the country a great service if it would be answered, sooner rather than later.
Right. So,
but that said, I do believe that Cruz is the most consistent conservative. I'm a conservative. That word gets bandied around a lot, but I think he has demonstrated in the time that he's been in the Senate that he's less interested in going along to get along and more interested in fulfilling his pledge to the people of Texas that elected him. And that's the kind of forthrightness I think we need in the presidency.
Okay. Well, here's my issue with not only Cruz but the politicians that have been in office. To me, it seems like they've all been at one point or another implicit with this globalist movement. And whether it's Ted Cruz voting for cloture to kind of hide his vote for TPA and giving the path to TPP. For me, it seems like the way the mechanisms of the way Congress runs, it gives them an effective way to hide their votes, so to speak, and their support for certain bills. Now, would you say, I'm talking to Dave now, would you say that this election is more about nationalism versus globalism than conservatism versus whatever, liberal, moderate, whatever the case may be? But do you feel that the key issue, can you understand that the key issue of the Trump supporters is the fact that we're losing our sovereignty? So how would you answer that?
Well, I think Emmett said it very well. The people in the country are not happy, and they have every reason not to be. I'm one of those unhappy people. Mm-hmm. The Congress, it's the old saying, a group of geese is called a flock. Mm-hmm. A group of baboons is a Congress. We elected these people. We now have control, we being the Republican Party, of both houses in Congress, and they give him, Obama, everything he wants. I mean, they capitulate time and again. So I have no reason to be happy with the situation in Washington, D.C. I think it's an absolute quagmire. But what concerns me is who has the best chance to win in November. Mm-hmm. And that's my whole focus. That's it.
And you still
eyes on the prize. The prize is in November.
I'm gonna let Carmine respond to this. Carmine, how do you feel about that? Do you really think that Ted Cruz has a stronger chance of pulling in all different kind of voters and winning the generals?
Zero chance. Zero. And the establishment.
Wait. When you say zero, who has zero chance?
Ted Cruz.
Okay. Ted Cruz. Explain why.
My 35-year-old. I'll tell you. My 35-year-old niece and all of her friends, they can't even watch him on TV, just because the way he presents himself, like a late night salesman on an infomercial. Mm-hmm.